Welcome. Hold on, let me adjust. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition, to another sum up that I give it to the Alamonte show because I'm by myself. But no, hashtag Fade to Black. I am your host, Della Alamonte. Most welcome to the show. Happy to have you tune in. So, as you can see, Lone Ranger once again, but Beast is running late and he's going to be coming in a little bit later. But today's show, I'm going to bring an a discussion on this show that I had on the Alamonte show, and I'm gonna bring it right here with this video over the weekend. I'm gonna give you a hint. It deals with police. So with that, let's get started with the opening statement. Big shout out to Sky Zone Society as they will sponsor this show. Thank you to them and their address. I don't know what thing's not coming to me today. Visit their address: tees, shirts, videography, photography. They have it all. Check it out. And they got candles that smell just like a game console. Xbox and PlayStation 5. Yes, if you're making that face like I'm making, yes, he did that. They do that. Order yours today by visiting the website down at the bottom. So, I'm not going to get too far into the video because I'm going to show that for the main piece. But it ties into today's show. We have to stop believing that we can work things outside the system. It's one of the most dumbest and one of the most stupidest things ever that I ever heard in my life. Just think about it. How in the world you can tell somebody what to do at their house when you don't even live there? Just think about it. How can you tell a mayor of a town how to run the town and you're not at the town hall meetings? Or in the words of Chris Brown, how you gonna get mad? It goes to something like, how you mad? You can't even get in. Basically can't get into the club. Just listen to that makes a whole lot of sense. This is why we at square one. This is why we don't take ourselves seriously. We believe that we don't trust the government, that I'm just going to sit here and yell, vent, go on YouTube, make these videos, new black media and all that stuff, and we still where we at today. No movement, no progress, no nothing. Oh yeah, we're trending on YouTube, but is that creating systemic changes? Is that making our lives a lot better or a little bit easier? Putting people's feet to the fire that needs to be put to the fire? Or we just wanted to just do, I hate to say this term, clickbait. We talk about feelings, but majority of the time we're talking, we don't want to, get out your feelings and all that stuff. I'm here to tell you. I just want to ask all the folks that believe in not working within the system. Riddle me this, Batman. Y'all been doing it for years. Decades. How's it working? How's it been going? What laws have you influenced? What politicians' feet that you really put to the fire that make them change the way they think or do politics? How have you made your community less worried about not having a target on their back every day? How's it going? Seems like y'all not doing much. It's great we got documentaries. it's great that we do have YouTube shows where we get to watch all this stuff happen and get our perspective on it. But what has it done to progress us rather than seeing it all over again and just getting somebody's perspective? Now, a lot of you are going to come at me. So, Morris, what were you trying to do with the hashtag Fade to Black? I'm trying to control the narrative. I'm not trying to change. Well, I won't say try to change people's mind. I want y'all to get a different perspective of what we talk about, because not all of us on the show is going to see eye to eye, but we are going in the right direction. I always say on this show, we are on the same sheet of music, but we're playing different instruments. We're on a different key, but we're on the same sheet of music. And we offer solutions. All these other shows sit there saying, this is what you should do, this is what you gotta do. We don't do that. We try not to do that. We try not to, and we achieve not doing that. Because what the solutions that we offer is like a deal on the table. You take it or leave it. I believe, now we have other people on the show that believe working within the system have not done us any good. And I'm not saying that working within the system was going to be easy. But you cannot make changes when you out the loop. You just can't. So to address those problems with the people that are working within the system, a lot of y'all don't believe in voting. That's why you don't get your way. In the same breath, you sit there and say, because right now we got high gas prices right now. A lot of y'all mad about that. But a handful, I won't say a handful, but majority of y'all don't even vote. So me as a politician who's hearing, well, damn, the gas price is so high. You know, the first thing I'm going to say, did you vote? I'm not saying did you vote for me in particular. Did you vote? And if you don't give me an answer, I'm going to take it as no answer. So I'll be like, well, I'm answering you then. To me, we need more politicians like that. But that's for a different show. What I'm saying is, when you sit down, do nothing, talking loud, and still saying nothing, the results is going to be the same. You're going to get nothing in return. And you're still going to have the same complaints like you did yesterday. Now, a lot of y'all actually do go out there and you help out and you work within the community. I will say that. A handful of you say, you know what, I'm going to go out there and change the status quo. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to help people out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to help get people registered to vote. Groom young kids into being politicians to be better at life. That's a difference. There's a handful of y'all that actually do the work. That when y'all do say there's something wrong in y'all community, you got weight. But everybody else who sit there and say, oh, I'm not going to vote. Like a lot of y'all don't want to take the damn vaccine. Y'all know the parents. Y'all know the ones that usually get hit by hurricanes. Man, this hurricane could be that bad. It's going to miss us. And yes, in many of the cases where hurricanes hit shore, they're probably weak or you probably miss it majority of the time. For me being from Virginia, I know. Have not had a lot of hurricanes hit us. But it be that one hurricane where everybody still got that same philosophy. You saw what happened in freaking Katrina. I believe one of the stories, I think Spike Lee did a documentary, and one of the people that he was interviewing was talking about his grandma. His grandma was like, I've been through all these hurricanes, and I already know Katrina ain't gonna be much. It ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna stay right here. And she's no longer here right now. Same with one hurricane That's the same thing all my relatives would say, man, this ain't gonna be nothing. This hurricane ain't gonna be nothing. And next thing you know, lights out, floods, flash floods to be exact. Out of school for about a week, maybe I think a week and a half. No power, no nothing. Not even the state wasn't even prepared. The state was even believing that this is gonna be nothing. We're gonna get missed, and got hit. This COVID valerian, if I said that right, is serious. It's very serious. You can eat as many. I eat vitamins every day. First thing in the morning. That's one thing I changed my life is vitamins. And I still put on the mask. I'm happy to be fully vaccinated. For all y'all black people that's sitting there going on the Tuskegee experiment, stop. Stop. There's a difference between learning the history and holding on to history. Listening, well, hold up, take that back. What I'm saying is you learn from it or you hold on to it. Now, slavery happened 400 years ago, plus. We got many families that look like us that still privileged off of slavery. The difference is with the Tuskegee experiment, yes, there are disparities that goes on in the medical field. Yes. But when you have people that look like me that already got vaccinated, a lot of y'all sit there say, oh, you're going to grow a tail. I still got an ass with the crack down the middle. Three times, listen to me, 3 times when I had close calls with COVID. 3. And I just had a recent one last week for this new COVID. Thank goodness I came up positive. I don't know. Thank goodness I came up negative. That came up. I will show y'all the results. But I came up negative. Thank goodness. My 3rd time. Take this mess seriously, peeps. My peoples. Just like your own life, take serious. Because working on the outside, looking in, it's not going to get anything done because we're going to be still here. Now, y'all like to go on the works of Welsing, all those greats. But you also can question their studies too as well. You cannot sit there and just believe it to the letter. You should question everything. Nobody should be off limits. I tell my soldiers, question me. If you feel like something don't sound right, let me know. Always ask questions. And that's our biggest problem. The same ones that's criticizing black, which I do criticize, black folks being too religious, definitely in Christianity. I give the same energy to y'all who believe in the Welsings and all of them and just believe them to the letter and just think what they say is gospel. You can question them. Question their teachings. Rest their souls, but still. That's a lot of things that, I won't say a lot of things. There are some things I disagree with Martin Luther King. There are some things I disagree with Malcolm X. I don't want to be brainwashed to the point where if somebody critiques them, all of a sudden I'm mad. And they could have a valid point. Or they could be telling the truth. That's our problem, not issue. We don't have the same energy for both sides. So when it comes to us thinking that we could just do YouTube channels and show videos of what's happening to us what y'all gonna do, what y'all gonna do. Yes, it's gonna go viral, but guess what? There could be another video that's gonna go viral itself. And yours is just gonna be a distant memory. So if you don't have no politicians or any media reporters work within the system that came from that community and says all of your issues gonna become agendas, did you hear it square one? And if the new black media isn't boots on ground interviewing these families, putting their stories out to us actually and offering solutions, they're no different than the shade room. They're no different than Boston. And what's the other one? They're no different than TMZ. They're the black TMZ. No different. Well, at least TMZ's down there with the celebrity, with the cameras in their faces. But majority of the time, they just stirred up drama. But at least they boots on ground. These new black medias are not. They're basically doing the same thing that we're doing on this show. But the only difference is we offer solutions and we don't force them down your throats. Or just talk about the issues within the problems. And actually controlling the narrative. Because controlling the narrative is not just talking about the issues. It's actually offering solutions. So with that, let's get into the show. Because speaking of video, I got a video that y'all probably all seen. But, yeah. I'll be right back. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to show you this very disturbing video. I'm not going to play all the way through. I'm just going to try to get to the parts, but here we go. So let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Now, for anybody who haven't seen the video or have seen it, if you actually analyze the video, everybody in the background you hear is men, black men, who are seeing this happen. Keep that in mind.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Why you hit him? Why you hit him? Man, why you hit him?
You see that, right? So we're just going to throw garbage. We're just going to throw... You seen that, right? Hold up. So the officer, yes, he's wrong as 2 right feet going into a war. He's punching the guy. And none of his fellow officers is going to correct him. Okay. But that's not the biggest problem in this video. You saw the one brother, he has his freaking phone out. He's recording. And you got the other brother, you got another brother that's holding the camera, the one that video that we watching. He's holding the phone. He's recording the whole thing. And the only thing you hear is, yeah. I'm like, no. Women do that. Women throw garbage, trash cans, chairs. Men do not do that. Fellas, this is what I was trying to say on last Wednesday's show. Y'all get mad about homosexuality and say there's a war against heterosexual men, and then you have this shit right here, which y'all have don't even use that same energy for that. None. Y'all will want to whip Lil Nas X's ass if he come around you or says hi, or if he do that one little flinch that you just think like, oh man, don't play that with me. You want to whip his ass, but then when you have something like this happens, you just stand and you freeze. Now all of a sudden, life matters now. My livelihood matters now. My job matters. I need to have a cash flow that needs to come in. Not everything starts to matter. I'm asking is, make it make sense. It's great that it is video out there to see what is happening, what is going on. But let me ask you this, because everybody thinks it's such a great thing, even though I say it's a great thing. Riddle me this, Batman. How many of these officers actually got prosecuted? Sit back and think about it. How many of these officers got prosecuted? What you record in the video. You can just count on your fingers how many of them got prosecuted. I expect a woman to record. Like what happened to that girl when she jaywalked across the street. She jaywalked across the street, and you had an officer who was still harassing her, put her on the ground and put his whole body on her, and the girl couldn't even freaking breathe. And result, the mother who was trying to do something, she got arrested. That woman had more balls than the majority of these fellas in this damn video. I don't care who comes at me, because you prove my point. If you do, you will have all the animosity and the hate, and if you see me, you want to whip my ass, but you won't do that to a police officer. You won't do that to a police officer, or seeing your boy or another fellow brother getting beat down by a police officer. Y'all will sit there, y'all will happily record, and some of y'all be like, well, it's none of my business. God, you miss me with the BS. Miss me with the BS. And speaking of that, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully he get everything straight. Beast Johnson trying to pop on in and see if this helps. I'm gonna put him in once everything gets straight on his end. But like I was saying, I'm sick and tired of seeing these videos. I'm done. Mainly for us brothers. You throwing garbage? And that one dude who wanted to jump in, you gonna let that one officer hold you back? Really? A lot of y'all, if that was a club and that was a bouncer, you probably would already took the swung at him. You probably would already just connected with one hit, even though the bouncer probably would take you down depending on how many of your boys was out there or his boys was out there. But the simple fact is, all that energy and all that power, and finally, let me go ahead and introduce you, y'all. This is the man, my bruh, ladies and gentlemen, Beast Johnson. I thought that his frame was doing good. I guess not. I apologize once again, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, Beast can get that fixed. Hopefully, he's got some technical difficulties. That was a quick little introduction, but I really want to hear Beast when he had to say once he get everything situated on this end. But and I'm not my black men, my brothers. Oh, okay, cool. I think Beast is moving. Beast, if you're good, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, let me do the reintroduction of my boy, my bruh. Ladies and gentlemen, Beast Johnson. Love the shirt,
Good
y'all.
evening, good evening. Thanks.
Hey, so I don't think you saw this video. I think you did. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna show it once again, but I'm gonna show it for Beast real quick. So I'm gonna start from the beginning, and I want you to get your honest reactions. So I don't know if you heard what I was talking about or anything like that, but I just want to get your reaction.
Hey, Mo. Why you punching? Why you punching?
Oh, fuck that.
Why you punching? No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Why you hit him? Why you hit him? Man, why you hit him?
Whoever throwing that shit, shouts out to him. That's the realest one out there.
Sorry for the poor quality, ladies and gentlemen. That's my green screen. And yes, the officer did took out his gun.
Shit like that just.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause right there. Let me go ahead and get you back in.
Shit like that just. I only have respect for the individual that was actually throwing shit, and at least got two of them cops away from that man. Everybody else a bunch of fucking pussies.
Beast, I don't know if we were brothers in the freaking like the life before us or our ancestors was like tight like this. That's the same thing I was saying. That's the same exact thing I was saying. Majority of the people, like I was telling the audience, because I don't know if they saw the video. If they did, they didn't analyze it and understand that there was nothing but brothers behind that camera. And
I heard minus the real nigga, minus Lil Tukey, because he was the realest one out there.
Yeah.
I heard at least 3 to 5 confirmed 3 individuals, including the person recording. So I say just right at half a dozen brothers, black men, were out there. And it goes back to the point that I stated before. If 1 to 3 people are already catching footage, especially if one person is directly there and you see maybe 2 more on the outside catching it from another angle, cool. That's all the angles you need. Everybody else, jump on them motherfuckers.
That's exactly what I was saying. So I do got a little critique for dude that was in front of that police officer, because Beats agree. I know you gotta agree with me on this one. I took it as you would swing on a bouncer at a club, but you ain't gonna take a swing at that officer. You know, when somebody up in your face like that, you expect to swing.
Look here. Death is death. No matter how it come, no matter where it come, no matter, it's death. I could easily die by the hands of a bouncer. Bumming for money as easily as I could from natural causes or man-made illnesses. Death is death.
Right.
It ain't about what you live for. It's about what you died for and how you live. Did you live as somebody that would have a worthy death, that would have a noble death, even if it was natural? I don't know about the rest of you so-called G's and thugs, but I'm trying to go out like Beowulf.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody that's watched the movie, that sums up the epic poem that is Beowulf. And he didn't say it in the poem, but thank God they put it in the movie. Because that's how you want to die. You really think you standing in front, you want to kill me? Go ahead. Because as far as I'm concerned, ain't a man on this earth, ain't a weapon formed by their hand, not an illness beset by the gods that will kill me. I will not die of old age, feeble, weak in my bed. I will die like the glorious bastard of a warrior that I am. And if I got to go out from defending somebody, so fucking be it. I welcome Valhalla. Get my need. Fuck all that bullshit, because, like I said, the greatest thing my grandfather ever told me, and I apply it to everything in life, and I advise everyone to do the same. You ain't got to continuously show out, but you just got to show out one good time. You got to let the individuals know that you're willing to take it there and then some. And as long as they know you're willing to go above and beyond for that situation, they are less likely in the future, if they survive that situation, to try to repeat that situation. Shorthand is all you got to do is act like a goddamn fool one good time and show folk that you bought your shit. It'll be 20, 30, 50 years for another motherfucker try. And I can attest to you, and I ain't been in a real fight since 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
An actual fight. I have not been in a fight in over 20 years. Have I had physical altercations? Yes. But I ain't really had to nut up and fight somebody in over 2 decades. Because the last time I fought somebody, shit was wild. I threw tables. I threw chairs. I did not give a fuck. This was in a classroom.
Dang.
I demolished the entire classroom. I don't care. And I let that be known when it comes to officers. You're not about to shoot me over no bullshit. And if you think you about to pull that gun to scare me, I'm going to give you a reason to pull that gun. Because before I let you pull that gun on me for some dumb shit, I'll jump on your ass. I'll give you a justified reason. But you're not just going to pull it on me because you scared and you think it's going to come. No, I'm just scared. I'm more scared than you are. Hell, I'm a black man in America and I know my fucking worth. I am terrified constantly. Y'all have no idea the crippling fear that me and Donnell truly have to live with. That no amount of self-medication or pharmacology or herbal holistics could ever solve. By our sheer existence of being black men in America.
Yo.
I told my homeboy, I could die anywhere. You motherfuckers out here, you white folk want to jump off shit and test your rights with God. No. I test my rights with God by merely getting my ass up and walking to the store. Every time I leave out of my house, I run the risk of not coming home. Simply because I'm black, I am average 6 feet, and I have dreadlocks. And I happen to be on the darker shade. So I'm the one that the cops always look for.
Oh.
They'll pull me before they pull down there. So when I see shit like that, and I hear all these niggas in the background, and I know these the same niggas to be on the block talking that stupid shit. Talking that, I'm about that life. Man, that nigga damn, they give me my $20. I rocked off on that nigga when I seen him with his mom and shit. I don't give a fuck if his baby mom was there. I don't give a fuck if I end up kicking the kid. Oh, but your bitch ass ain't do shit when the motherfuckers freely. That wasn't a punch. That bang.
Yeah.
That
Free reign.
That was an onomatopoeia. That was a free. That was a. Oh, niggas that get dazed in the UFC get hit like that. Not a motherfucker arrested by the police.
Yeah. I mean, dude was just free reign on his face, like bop, bop. And then
he got a good 3-piece.
Yeah,
good three. He got 2. I seen bop, bop.
Yeah. And then the damn dude went to a different position, got him like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, and here's the other sad thing too: the other 2 officers didn't even stop. Didn't even stop.
I feel like Mars from Sin City when I see shit like this. It really makes me feel like I was born in the wrong century. I was born in the wrong time. Because what I want to do, I subconsciously pray to be involved in situations like that. Because people are like, you don't know what you're going to know. I know exactly what the fuck I'm going to do. I know exactly what the fuck I'm going to say. And the second one of them tries me, I know exactly what the fuck I can legally get away with. So as soon as they cross that line, I'm defending myself. I have that legal right. I don't give a fuck if you're a cop or not. You don't have the legal jurisdiction to touch me unless I am aggressive or I am showing violent tendencies. Am I wrong, sir?
Not wrong at all. And ladies and gentlemen,
because the definition of assault is a simple touch. If I touch Donnell If I physically make contact with Donnell's shoulder and some momentum happens and his body just adjusts ever so slightly, that is the textbook definition of assault by the police, law enforcement standards.
And ladies and gentlemen, for anybody who just tuned into the show, or even the ones that brought us a long way, this is coming from somebody. He's basically the voice of the streets on this show, Beast Johnson. So if you hearing that from him, y'all might want to sit back and just take a little bit of notes. Or if you're one of those guys, like I said on Wednesday show, I always go back and I say this. Us black men get mad at I gotta say this, and I'm saying this out of love. I'm not saying this out of hate, because if I'm sitting there saying that I hate, I'm talking to myself too. Mm-hmm. We have energy to what Lil Nas X is doing, and that is a war on heterosexual men, and y'all don't have this same energy when you got your own brothers getting their ass whipped, literally whipped by the police. Here's how you go react. Number one, i.e. the video we just saw. Y'all just gonna sit there and just gonna voice your opinions, or I'm gonna record this. Or number two, y'all gonna sit there and walk. It's none of my business. But go ahead, Beast.
I got to throw in the slave mentality on that, because the core psyche of it, I would presume, is every nigga in America got their ass whooped. Only a percentage of us got butt broke.
That's true.
So when we see the new ways and the transitions that it's taking, we're offended. Yeah, because not all of us was put in that position as black slaves in America. But every last one of us got our ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
So we numb to that. Like, as a whole, we want to jump in, but that inner slave just kind of gives us that thriller movement. We can't run, we can't breathe, we can't do nothing. We just, anything that we need to do, we can't. And the shit that we're doing is a waste of energy.
Yeah, and then I can add on to that too. So that slave mentality back in the day was, I don't want to get whipped, I don't want to lose any of my limbs, get cut off. Nowadays is, man, I love my job, I want to be around my kids, I don't want to go to jail. It's just those things right there. Because people don't understand, when you don't do this for your fellow brothers or sisters, the same thing you can say about your kids. What happened if that was your kid? Or what are you going to do? You could be like, oh, that's my kid. No, my ass going to be like, where's my damn kid? Somebody going to be asking me some fucking goddamn questions. Now, if it was in a sense of that, I'm taking somebody with me. Period.
Somebody got to die.
Yeah, somebody is going to come. In the words of Webby from What's Happening, he said, I'm going to take somebody with me. I mean, you cannot be a bystander and see that happen. You just can't sit there and just continue to walk on about your day and just think that it's never going to happen to you. But when it happens to you, and it always happens, that one person you didn't help sees you, and you're like, come on, man, help me. Remember it happened to you? Yeah, I remember when it happened to me. You kept walking. The same thing I'm going to do here. Now y'all sit there recording everything, yelling and screaming behind the cameras. That's a woman thing. That's what women do.
No.
You don't think so?
No. I got to switch out the verbiage on that one right there. That's a bitch move.
I'll try to be nice, but
no, because as you were saying it, it's like, I want to agree with you so bad, but I keep seeing Haitian women and black women from the civil rights movements just jawing
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I'm like, nah, I can't put them in that category. But bitches, oh yeah, bitches do stupid shit like that all the time. Yeah, that's a bitch move.
Yeah. Okay. I take that one. I take that one.
Once again, I speak for the streets.
Yes, you do.
I say what really need to be said.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to getting blamed for shit. So
don't worry, I'm gonna be there with you. I mean, I'm there with you because I'm sick of tired of seeing videos like this, you know. And then also I'm at to blame, you know, the new black media, the ones that basically do the same thing we do, but they think they're the news. You know, they're the ones that sit there. They show that right there was from an Instagram. I'm not going to name the freaking profile, but they think they the new black media because they go over things like this and they post it on their freaking stories or post it on their freaking on their Instagram post. And they think they're the media. They think they're the news. You're not the news. You are not the news. This is what I think news is. News to me is where you are behind a desk, you got video, or how about this? Not only just video, because we got that here too, but you actually talking to either the family or the persons that are involved in the story. Your boots on ground, you investigating, getting more to the story and sticking to the story. That's why the news always has breaking news and developing stories. And you don't have no organic stories. What I mean by organic stories is you're not piggybacking off of the mainstream. And I know the mainstream haven't touched this yet. So they could have had this story, could have ran it, could have talked to the people that were involved, talked to the police chief, like, hey, what's going on? And getting the story, not waiting until the local news in the freak community come up with it. That does not make you the news media. You just piggybacking off of information that you could have done. That does not make you the new black media. I believe the new black media do a whole disservice to our freak community. Like I said on my opening statements, I literally said that the new black media is no different than the Shade Room. And y'all can go and send that to them. I don't care. They are the new Shade Room.
Oh, they're on their way. I will give you. They have definitely more about the drama. I will give them more TMZ.
You know what? I said that too. I said that on my opening statement. I said y'all the black TMZ.
Because TMZ gets the respect enough to do their due diligence as well as check themselves. If they drop some shit that they find out was wrong, they will retract their statements. You know, the fact that the owner and creator is an entertainment lawyer himself, he's very nuanced and covering his ass about anything that he puts out there that's attached to him. And not everything, goes your way, but he's done it to a point to where it's considered one of the top 5 verified sites and areas one would go to when hearing news involving a notable individual or a quote unquote celebrity. If you hear such and such died, you're not going to believe it unless you hear it came from TMZ. Mm-hmm. Then you'll check BBC because that's worldwide. And outside of Google itself, but then the main sites you're going to look for is TMZ and the BBC. If they say it is, then it's like, okay, it's real. If MSNBC or one of them says it, you still ain't going to really believe it. Right. TMZ says Shaq dead, and then BBC says Shaq dead. I ain't that's me. I ain't speaking ill on nobody, but
I'm not.
That's how it's gonna be.
Right.
Calm down, Wesley.
He said, don't you talk about Shaq like that. He said, don't talk about Shaq. Yeah. But But see, and that is my biggest and simple point right there. It just it kills me that we got these so-called they consider themselves media. You are not media. You are not, because we can say that we are a news outlet. We can say those things. And with that, while he's handling his dog, we can go take a commercial break, and we will be right back. All right. We back at it. Well, Beast, I thought he was back. He's back. So going back to what we were saying, so we kind of got a little off track off with the new black media. Um, I really want the new black media just to, people just see them for what they are. They are just they don't
The
even
same.
offer they don't even offer no solutions. They just put it out there and they just take that as news. You even got YouTube channels where you got people that do basically doing the same thing as we are. They go off an article, they go off the headline, and don't know not one lick of what they're talking about. That's like me trying to explain the music industry of what I heard or documentaries that I saw, but you've been in the industry for 20 years. And I'm telling you how the
Listen,
industry is. What sense does
that's
that make?
same. That's same for me to be making militaristic and strategic like comments or talking about anything of that level. Yeah, that I come from that family, but I didn't serve. Fuck, I look like telling this man about that.
Right, and I just don't get it, and that's why I say that the new black media is doing a disservice. Like they diss on people like freaking Roland Martin, who just built his he built his empire from the ground up. I remember when Roland Martin was still on CNN. Well, he was on CNN, and then he was on TV1 when he had his show. His YouTube channel was he only had 30 subscribers. This man is already going to be at 800 probably by the end of this year, 800,000 subscribers. And you got people from the new black media that's criticizing him, sitting there saying he's catering for the Democrat Party. You know, Mayo, he's not a big Roland Martin fan. Um, but and they're freaking like one of them. I showed this stuff on here. Jason Black, he only got 120. I'm being nice. The last time I checked, he had 121,000 subscribers. And I'm like, dude, what? That's like somebody from the minor leagues telling somebody from the big leagues that they're better than them. There's a minor league and a big league for a reason. There's NFL, professional collegiate, and then you got college. Then you got high school. Then you got Pee Wee / Typha. They're separated for a reason. There's a point that you try to get to. But you have to excel in where you at. If I'm in Freaky, if I'm a top, running back in the country, but Beast is a top running back in the NFL, who is people going to hold in prestige more? It's going to be Beast, because he's making millions of dollars signing autographs.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's the fact, like you said, the reason for these different levels is to show the level that you currently possess, or the level that you've attained. The summation of all your skills and effort and time and energy put into it. And some of us can make it to a higher level than others. And when you get a certain number of higher level individuals in their respective fields of expertise, you have to be able to differentiate them from those that haven't reached that level yet, or might have surpassed that level. Okay. That's why you have like Pop Warner is different than AAU. Not everybody that does Pop Warner makes it to AAU, but if you make it to AAU, then you're more liable. You're more in line to get on the scholastic teams, being your schools. Mm-hmm. Then more liable to get on the collegiate. The longer you progress and the longer you invest and put that energy into it. Like you said with Roland Martin, he put in that energy long before there was an internet. We were still in the television age of entertainment and media. Now that has transferred and transmutated into the whole internet, because a wider scope of people can be hit at a greater span of time. It could literally happen right now, and I can find out about it.
This is true, and I just think when you're not even in a position to even say anything, yes, you got your followers. You got your followers. That's great. That's wonderful. But you can't sit here and look up and talk shit to that person that worked hard and they're up there for a reason. They got more guests than you. They got more credibility than you. They put more time in. They put more time than you. When you cover stories, thanks to freaking Fox News, opinion pieces has been the norm when it comes to news media nowadays, which, i.e. this show. We're very opinionated, but at the same time, we offer solutions.
They stole that from 60 Minutes.
Yeah, yeah. And so the thing is with me is they also like to force feed people what they believe they should do. Just listen to majority of these so-called new black media shows. It's like they force feed us to listen, this is what you gotta do and all that stuff, and donate money. Now, don't get me wrong, Umar Johnson not the only hustler that's out there. There's others out there. There are others out there that's just hustling real hard. Maybe a little bit too hard. And that's why everybody who's supporting the new black media, I'm going to ask you and I'm going to ask you again. With all this stuff that they're spewing out there and all this stuff that they are putting on their platforms and all this stuff that they're saying, is all the stuff that they're preaching to you making you live a little bit safer? solving any of your problems, making you feel a little bit safer than you was yesterday. If those answers are no, and you're still trying to find a way to defend them, guess what? Number one, that's an excuse. Number two, don't ever blame anybody else for being brainwashed, because that's literally what brainwashing is. That's literally what brainwashing is. Yeah, that's literally brainwashing, because they're the same ones that sit there saying, well, you brainwashed by the system. It's funny. That's what I was talking about earlier before I started the show. Oh, you brainwashed. You sitting there listening to the man and all that stuff. Well, whatever you listening is not helping you out neither. But see, the difference is with me and anybody else on this show, we question shit. I had a supervisor that told me, Morris, I don't care if it's the general of the army or the freaking president of the United States. You question every damn thing. You can still support somebody and still question them. You have the right to. You should. You have to. Like with the teachings of with greats like Welsing, who's the other guy? But all of them, Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, all those, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Yes, they are our ancestors. We put them in very high regards, but still, there are some things that they have said or have done that you didn't agree with. A lot of people didn't agree with Dr. King with the integration thing, i.e. Malcolm X. A lot of people didn't agree with that. Right. A lot of people didn't agree with Malcolm X because he's too violent, i.e. Martin Luther King. Am I tarnishing their freaking legacy? No. I just question some of the things that they have done. But we get into our heads to where we believe everything that they said. We believe all the things, their testimonies, whatever. To the point when anybody questions their legacy, everybody get up in arms and get pissed off and mad. Now, there's a difference if they distort that legacy. What I mean is definitely when you have so many, people on the conservative right that try to use Dr. King, I Have a Dream speech, and not realizing Dr. King realized that he fucked up with the integration stuff. That he admitted.
Yeah, they kept it bad.
Right. And then also, not only just that, you have people that only want to talk about Malcolm X when he was with the nation, but nobody don't want to talk about Malcolm X after the nation, after some of his beliefs, majority of his beliefs started to change. Where
I can't get jiggy with this.
Right. Where he was saying that he didn't trust the white man, but then he realized, oh shit, the white man's a Muslim too. Went to Mecca and prayed alongside of him. Nobody don't want to go all the way. But you will get demonized, rocks thrown at you if you bring that stuff up, or you say anything against greats like that. What I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, with all the greats all the greats that made these books, that went on these tours, going to black communities and explaining about white supremacy and all that stuff, that's great. But also you have to think to yourself, there are things that you question. There are things that you don't agree to what they are saying. You don't have to agree with everything. There are going to be things where you could just be like, yo, that don't feel good in my soul. Remember that? Right. Like, you remember that old saying where it says it's not going to be for everybody? I may like Coca-Cola, but Beach probably like Pepsi. Beach, I don't like Pepsi. Right. See what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Different strokes for different folks. But if you go to any person, definitely New Black Me or any pro-black person, and you sit there, you say anything against what Marcus Garvey was doing, anything, they would call you a coon, Sambo, all that stuff.
Everything.
Right. And I was like, I'm not saying that he was a bad guy and what he did was bad. I just didn't agree on this part. Like with W.E.B. Du Bois, I didn't agree on this part. I'm saying that for example, or Booker T. Washington. I did not agree when he did this or did that.
No.
And
Everything should be mathematical. You know that?
Right.
You know why I say that? Because as you get more advanced with your numbers, just look at like simply from 1 through 10, you can add up different variations just to get up to that one number. 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6. All of these will get you 10. The more we progress, the more variations can always lead to the same result. So why can't we have this type of mentality applied throughout all life? So, you know, when people say, just because I disagree with your point or you disagree with my point, doesn't mean we both can't end up with the same result.
Right. Like I said, on this show, we may have different views, but we all going to the same location. You just using a different way to get there. If everybody is going to Walmart, I choose to use Moore Street. Beast is going to go down Johnson Avenue. Guess what? At the end of both of those freaking streets, here's Walmart. He just coming on the other side of the parking lot.
Yep, pretty much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, who felt offended for all the things that I just said, so be it. But for you to defend them without questioning not one thing, that just not feeling right in your soul, that is a big example of brainwashing. You're brainwashed. You basically, it's kind of like, who's that
That's
one
sad.
white? Yeah, who's that one white preacher? I forgot his name. Oh goddamn, I had his name. He's the one white preacher that sent them to that country and made them drink the water. Jim Jones. That's on some Jim Jones.
Kool-Aid. Oh yeah.
That's on some Jim Jones shit. Because like everybody was people who was following him was being told that this dude, there's something wrong with this dude, man. He's sitting there saying that he's God and saying that God talks through him, but you had everybody sitting there believing this guy, giving this dude all their money, and look what happened. Drink the Kool-Aid, you be closer to God, and guess what? Every single one of them drunk that shit and died. And this is no different, ladies and gentlemen. This is dangerous.
No, actually, you know who's worse?
What's that?
Applegate is worse than Jones.
Oh,
Hell Bob, the Heaven's Gate. And just because when it all boiled down to it, yeah, a lot of folk drank that Kool-Aid, but the majority of them were forced to drink that Kool-Aid. Whereas in Heaven's Gate, they believed that the Hale-Bopp comet was going to take their ass to the alien heaven, and they was going to see a whole new level of existence. So they decided to willingly and collectively all ingest poison, sleeping pills, causing a chemical imbalance and overdose, at the same time putting bags over their heads and taping them around the neck, also adding the complications of asphyxiation. These people willingly did that. They fucking helped each other. This is the shit we're seeing.
Yeah.
People are literally so brainwashed to where and numb to the fact that they assume there has to be. It's like in the movies. There has to be an explanation. It can't be Billy. Billy couldn't have killed those 13 children. It has to be some other reason. I don't know why all these clothes are bloody. I don't know where this machete came from, but there has to be a reason. It's that type of fucking brainwashing. when you hear it out loud, it's like, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
But no, they earnestly believe in their heart of hearts that whatever the situation is, there is some kind of explanation. And it's most likely beyond their emotional comprehension or understanding, and they're willing to accept it. They just want to hear it.
Mm.
And they'll throw whatever ration they need to within their own lives to help them move on and throw it to the back end of their brain.
Yeah, just to justify that it's not true or that it's true. Like
just to justify their own personal feelings on it.
Like if they have
how they feel.
It's just like them having a badass kid. Tyler, I'm gonna use your analogy. Having that badass kid always causing trouble in school, always stealing money, always bullying kids, and you go to the freaking teacher and principal and sit there and say, "My kid's a freaking saint." What are you talking about? He's a good kid. He's probably gonna be president of the United States.
Your little bastard.
Yeah, delusional. And they was delusional, and then they would take that shit to freaking media, and the kid be having they have on the glasses, and they sit there like, yeah, he took my kid out. My kid was a straight A student. Come to find out, the person was like, look, y'all can believe what y'all want to believe, but that kid was badass. Well, they won't say it like that. In their minds, they won't say it like they'd be like, well, here's the paperwork. Yes, he was a straight A student, but here's the many times that he got sent to ISS. Here's the times where the teacher had to.
You got him with the Dennis Menace. Here's his disciplinary record. And if you hear a nice little heft sound to it, oh, that's a little badass kid. I don't care how smart he is. That's a little badass kid.
And also, we got the video to back it up and prove it. So we can play this game.
Oh, damn, man.
That kid's a demon.
It sounds like a sociopath right here.
Yeah, and so and that's what happens when us black folks and like I said, I give it to both sides. I give the same energy. We got on our people for how they deeply believe in Christianity and thinking that it's the way. We gotta do the same thing when it comes to our ancestors and just believing everything they say without asking any freaking questions. And so, because I think we kind of had that discussion. I think it was me and Seepa where we kind of got into it. I won't say got into it. What I mean by getting into it, I don't mean like yelling at each other. I believe we have respectful dialogues and debates on this show. Where I did bring up, I was like, if those teachings were so great and so, so useful, then why in the world nobody didn't use them or pushed people to use these in the freaking community and actually did something? And that was my issue and problems. Because if I'm coming up with a book, like I'm gonna use Think and Grow Rich. Look at how many millionaires and billionaires that book have created. They even have a black version of Think and Grow Rich. Look at how many millionaires and billionaires that it has created. The community of millionaires and billionaires. A lot of them, I guarantee 9 times out of 10, you meet with a multi-millionaire, even just a millionaire. They will mention Think and Grow Rich that they read it. Trust me. They would say Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Because they say it changed their lives to what they at now. Now, when you go with these our ancestors, when they create these books that goes within the community, what were they doing to push that? If everybody believed it, you will think somebody would take the tools and apply it to their community so that the community would not be in dismay as it is still currently right now. Even worse now. You would think. So, if the teachings were that good and that powerful, why have it been implemented? And that's my biggest question. That was my biggest question during that time, and it's still my question at this time. And I'm not brainwashed to the fact that they was right 110%. No. 90% they was correct on, but that other 10% is like, you know. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that's just me. But also, y'all should be doing the same thing too. Y'all should be like thinking like, you know, when somebody says that something's the best, first thing that should come to your mind, like, how do you know? What make yeah? What have you done? What have you seen? What is the experiments? What is the research backing this claim? Any freaking journalist would do that with anybody. Why you think you got freaking God damn it. You got the press conferences. Why the press conferences are so heated? No matter if it's in the White House or at a sporting event. Why you think it's so heated? Because when you have a head coach that says that they got a great defense, you're going to have a reporter there that's going to question that. Even if they are an insider that works for the organization, i.e., I'm going to use my Dallas Cowboys, for example. If freaking Mike McCarthy literally just went up on the podium and just said Dak Prescott is the best quarterback, he's going to be the best quarterback this year. He's going to be a number one quarterback. A reporter is going to question him, and rightfully so. Will get up and will say, well, you got Russell Wilson, you got Tom Brady. Well, Tom Brady was the first one he missed. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. You got all these quarterbacks that had the longevity, not to mention Super Bowls. 2, if you combine Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, and 7 with Brady alone. If you total that up, that's 9 Super Bowls among them. How is Dak Prescott is going to be the best quarterback? What are the steps are you doing so that he can be at that top level? Ladies and gentlemen, that is how questioning should go. Because those reporters are not going to be brainwashed to be like, oh, we're going to put that right there. Yeah, Dak Prescott's going to be one of the best quarterbacks of this year. I wonder how that story is going to go. It's going to go great for us, but for you, Beast, as a Steelers fan, you're going to be pissed off. You're going to be like,
right.
yeah, you like, no, you be like, you going to look at this. I mean, this example. You can look at this like, hold up, whoa. I know Ben Roethlisberger, he's old. I know Ben Roethlisberger is old, but he won Super Bowls. He got some fucking goddamn stats under his damn belt. He's easily a freaking top 10 quarterback of this freaking decade. Oh, hell no. What is the facts? Where is the facts?
Okay.
You know, where is the stats? Put his stats against mine. Not only just you can have people in Beagles land, you can have people in freaking with the Saints, people here in freaking Seattle. I mean, it will go all over the place. It would cause a storm.
Cause a conniption.
Right. And then we would call y'all brainwashed to sitting there believing that y'all quarterback is better than ours because we got it in the media. This is what they're saying. And you have every right to sit there and say that we're brainwashed because y'all can't back up the facts. And not to mention, the season hasn't even started yet. So
yeah,
you got to question everything. You have to. You got to. And y'all probably wondering, we kind of talking in circles, which I don't think we are, because it circles around. Beast. You know who it is, right? Bro, man.
I knew I smelled money in the building.
I know. I told you, man. Money never, ever sleeps, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I'm going to do this for shits and giggles. I'm gonna play this twice. I'm just going to play it because I think he needs his intro. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayo. Now, ladies and
family?
gentlemen, look. I had to play that. I had to play intro. We were gonna play a little later today. But Mayo, how you doing,
What's
sir?
up, family? Man,
Good,
life
good.
is
Good
good.
Good seeing
You
you.
know, how y'all doing? Man,
We
it's
good.
good seeing y'all. Man, I miss
Yeah, we miss you
I said
too.
I wasn't gonna let the night go by without seeing you. I said, man, whatever I gotta do, man, I gotta make it happen. So, you know, I'm running in from Lowe's, man. Picked up wood and everything. You know, price of wood went up and it's coming down. So I had to do some projects real quick.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. I was, you know, I saw more sweat. I just unloaded the wood in the house. You know, look, I didn't want to leave it on the truck, but man, I miss you.
So Mayo, so I won't say we was talking in circles, but it's coming together to what we were talking about. I think I sent the video to you of the officer punching the
I've seen
one
it.
brother. Yeah.
I sent it to the group or something, but yeah, I saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So what is your take on it? Because me and him, we said the similar things. Because my thing was minus the police punching them in the face. Because we saw that, and none of the police officers corrected them. There was a lot of brothers out there, two of them that was on their phone, and basically didn't do anything other than throwing garbage at the police officers, and one was trying to get into it with one of the officers.
But well, I mean, we have to understand. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, we just have to understand that, you know, like, I mean, that could have gotten worse, and I'm surprised that, you know, we don't know what the end of the video. So if those brothers that try to jump in and start punching, those cops could probably start shooting everybody, you know. So I mean, at least we got to always think about, you know, some people would be like, oh, why don't you fight? You know, what? You know, we trying to de-escalate this, trying to let them know that you wrong for punching this guy in the face. If anything, they should never arrested him after that, after they said what they did. And those officers should all be fired. There's nothing to that, you know. That is not peace keeping. That is not law enforcement. That is just fucking bullying. Oh, excuse me. Lord,
Oh no, don't worry.
But that is just bullying, you know, and it's sad that, you know, after I don't like to even use the damn George Floyd no more because it's not the poster child. It's that Jordan King probably, and I mean, could be a better poster child. I mean, police brutality in America, especially on Black Americans,
Shouldn't be a poster child for police brutality.
right, absolutely. I mean,
I understand what you're saying.
it's just crazy. So I mean, we know how it is. At this point, you would think that they would stop. You know, I mean, that was actually they had no need to start punching. He's swinging. The cop was the first one to swing, and continuously. I mean,
He was the only one to swing.
Yeah.
These are punks they probably were bullied or something, or maybe even if they were not bullied, they were not popular in high school, middle school, and this is their chance of ever looking like they're strong. And I don't know why they cannot screen this out of the police department. You know, and I've worked at a sheriff's office before, so I know the mindset. Like, you know, hey, you know, if we can hold them behind where cameras and not see them and punch them, they will teach them a lesson. You know, but no, we ain't teaching nobody no lesson no more. I mean, I didn't never say that. I never thought that, but I heard them saying. I'm like, you know, and you know, I've been, you know, where inmates, because I worked at the jail, I never got to be on the streets, but you know, I've been with inmates have gotten me to the point where I feel like, you know, like, man, I wish I could get this dude, you know. And I know how upset you can be, but our job is to not get upset. You know, you're supposed to be the last one to get upset. So if you can't do your job right, you know, like, you probably need to be sat down or whatever. The thing I don't like is the fact that he was punching the rest of the other police officers, and I feel like, hey, you know, like, we ain't got to do that. You know, like,
yeah, and that was I brought that up too. I was like,
those guys brought it up. None of them they wanted to use the fact that the guy has a gun as a reason to punch. I mean, what if he had carried and concealed? I mean, so who cares if he had a gun? I mean, so it's just there's this thing where police officers feel like it's them against the people who they're supposed to serve and protect. You know, especially if they're dark skinned, they're darker the skin. So until we unravel that mindset and fix that whole mindset, it's going to keep happening until we get our politicians to stop being so political and speak to the truth of power. Things going to keep being the same. So, you know, so I just feel like that is just another example that we've not fixed nothing yet, you know, and this you know, Nancy Pelosi can sit down there and put a fist up as much as she wants to. All those members of the Democratic Party in Congress can get arrested for the right to vote, quote unquote right to vote as much as they want to. It's just we got to stop buying the BS. You know, we got to stop realizing that if anybody is not being an activist type of politician, going in there hollering on our behalf and making sure that they, that people can't sleep at night. Not at night. People can't just do what they want to do without being called out. If they're not doing that, they're not really, like Marvin said, make me want to holler. If my politician ain't hollering like I'm hollering, then they're not representing me. And we have all these politicians in all this in the cities, like come to your police department. I mean, this year, the last 2 years, has been all this police stuff. You mean you're a mayor of a city right now, you ain't coming to your police department enough to know who's in there, who's not. That would be your number one job. If anything, as popular that has been the last 2 years, if you've not been doing that, coming to your police department, make sure you know what's going on and talking to them, making sure that there's a change and making sure that you can fight the police union. If you're not doing that, then you're not doing your job. You need to get it first.
I see, that's also a big thing too, because it was another video that I talked about from the Alamonte show where I say I would be mad at what I've seen with the police. I would have been mad, but the simple fact that we got a lot of our own that just basically think working outside the system is going to put a lot of work in the system. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. And then also I said too about the town hall. This incident, no matter, because there's a lot of incidents that is not even being reported right now that's probably going on as we speak. Don't let that incident be the only time you go to a town hall. You should be at a town hall every single time they have one. You should be there. And I brought this up on the show. Mel, you brought this up on the show. Even Beach, you even bring it up on the show. Even Teach. You can't be on the outside looking in. This is why I was trying to bring everything together. And I'm happy that Mel, you actually brought up the other piece to this. And this is where the new black media comes into play, because they pushed that video that I showed came from a new black media thing. And they think just because they show that on their platform and show that on their freaking story, that's the news. That is not the news. And I'm not going to go back over what, the examples or stuff. But basically, I'm like this. If you can't come up with organic stories, get in contact with the people that were there, get in contact with the chief of police on what are you going to do about it, then you're no different than the shade room.
Right.
You know different. You're basically doing what we're doing. Yeah. But the only difference is we offer solutions. See, they just like to force solutions down people's throats, and then black people think that's the news. I believe the new black media does all of us a big disservice when I could just go on.
Gossip is always big news.
Right. I could go on anybody's freaking Facebook, or I just see a viral video where they say, share this was happening here. I could go ahead and I could just post that and then just think I'm the news. Hashtag Fade to Black News. This is what's going on in North Carolina. This is what's going on in Seattle. This is what's going on in Ohio. But if I'm not talking to the movers and shakers in that story, because you got an antagonist and you got a protagonist. If I'm not talking to neither one, it's just either a story or just a post. I'm piggybacking, or if I'm piggybacking off the stories that you already have reporters already doing the work, and then I'm just posting it on my freaking page and thinking that I'm the news, I'm doing them a disservice, and it's just, I'm sorry. People who's considering these guys the new media for us is delusional.
What?
I mean, very delusional. Like, man, I sent you a post where they was talking about your boy, what's his name? God dang, I forgot his name. The brother with the glasses that did the prison reform.
They did what? Prison reform?
Yeah, did the prison reform. I forgot his name. He works for CNN.
What's the name? The guy that was being hated on by black folks because he talked about Trump. What's his name?
Not Carson.
No, not Carson.
He's a Democrat.
Van Jones.
Yeah, Van Jones. That's what I thought about.
Because Van Jones. Yeah, I got. See, the thing is, I got mad at him I got mad at him, but at the same, I got problem with Twitch. Hold up. Yeah, I got mad at him, but I did not lose like any respect for him. You know, yeah, because I know me and you, Mel, you know, we had our discussions about him because I really
I don't know what people are mad about him. They're mad because he.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I was mad at what he said, but I understood.
What did he say? I still don't get it because he said again like something about how Trump is not. Well, he said Trump is not all the problem. I mean, because I don't think Trump is everything. I think he said Trump might have done some good things. He said Trump might have done some good things or whatever, you know.
I think I was mad because he went to that CPAC and he was, you know, he was gloating a lot, and I was like, why would you go there? That was my disagreement with him. I was like, why would you go there? Now, if you went on CNN or network or neutral network, I will understood. I will understood. I would still disagree with him, but when he went to CPAC, I was like, oh my goodness, why? But I never lost respect to him. The thing, yeah, go ahead, man.
I don't want to go back and regurgitate the debate or the conversation about him. But the thing I always felt is like, you know, like I still don't see something where, you know, people can be like, he sold out, because if he was a reporter and if he's not going to both sides to hear, then, you know, people like myself will call him like, you know, like a Roland Martin, which is like a cheerleader of one side. You know, I mean, you know, I want somebody who can give me both sides of the story. I mean, you know, so, and that's what reporters are supposed to do. We don't have reporters like that no more in our lives. You know, it's just folks who just cater to one side because they think that, you know, like, hey, I'm gonna get this audience. I'm gonna sit on this audience. That's what CNN does. That's what Fox does. I want somebody that gets both sides, but you know, I digress. My thing is just like, you were gonna say something about him, and I think
and you coming up a boy roller button. I'm gonna let you pass on that one. But see, thing is with Van Jones, you know, come on, we have our mess ups, you know, once in a while. But at the end of the day, Van Jones did pull up a bill. He got it through, and he got people out of prison. Because when you had that conversation, I said, you know, let me think about this. Like, do I really lose respect for Van Jones? I was like, no, I don't. I just didn't like that he went to CPAC. And I was like, all right, cool. I can get over that. You know, I'll probably, if I ever meet him in person, I'll probably get him for that. I'm like, dude, you could have went to freaking Essence Festival and did that. But, you know, but then when I saw that post, and that actually did came from New Black Media Spot, where they showed him in a picture with white people, how he was gloating with them and how he was kissing that one dude from that one CNN contributor who turned out to be a racist piece of shit, by the way, and all that stuff. And
I mean, I don't think a lot of them are, but you know, which one?
No, it was it was a white dude with the white hair. I mean, he was saying some borderline racist shit, but see, I'll put myself in Van Jones' situation. The reason why was because when I saw that post, I was like, that's a disservice. That's a disservice to Van Jones. Even if I was a big Van Jones hater, I'll be like, yo, man, you can't sit there and say he hasn't done anything for black folks. What? You can't sit there. This is a man that got kicked out of a freaking administration because of one party thinking that, you know, because they didn't like him. Yeah, that thought he was too far to the left. To me, I take that as a badge of honor.
Yeah, I mean, if our community focused on issues, we'd be right. You know, we focus on emotional trigger on TV. You know, like, oh, he took pictures of the white folks that we don't like. Oh, you know, there's that. Now, let's focus on the issue that white folks that we like and the ones we don't like that they're passing. If we focus on the issue that they're passing and look what he's talking about, we realize that he's caring for us more than the folks who are like, I don't mean to go back and roll them on. I mean, the folks who are running around there being cheerleaders, you know, like, I mean, it was like during Obama administration, nothing ever was wrong. I mean, so if that's the case, you know, like, why are we complaining about, you know, about stuff right now? I mean, if those guys, him and Reverend Al, because there's a blackface in the White House, I mean, not to say that's what Obama is, he's more than that, but I'm just saying, you know, they don't say nothing, there ain't nothing wrong. But not, as soon as somebody that's not so cool to our community comes in, you know, like, oh, we can start doing our jobs now. No, if you focus on issues, then we don't have to worry about that because the issue affects us. But we just don't focus on issues. We focus on personality and, you know, and emotional triggers. But
and the thing is, see, that's what the new black media is thriving on, because they're saying, look at all these coons up, and look at Van Jones. He's supposed to be helping getting everybody out of prison. He only got a couple here, a couple there. And look, he's already cozying up with the white people and all that stuff. He ain't cozying up with our people. See, this is why they're coons. This is why you can't work within the system and all that stuff. And I was like, and see, and this is why y'all do us a disservice. I don't care who's sending this mess to anybody that falls in new black media. I'm calling new black media out. If you're not there, boots on ground, actually talking to people, you're not news. If you're not offering solutions rather than just forcing the solutions that you think, not even think that you know that's going to work and shove it down throat, you're not news media. If you just sitting there just picking up just viral videos from people when they say just share it, we can share it on this show, but we can do our due diligence and to understand not only just a situation, but try to reach out to those people that are affected. But unfortunately, we find it on these new black media sites that I do follow, unfortunately. But just like anything else, you got to know how your enemy moves. And that's how I see
got to know what to do.
Right. And so I'm finding it on their platforms, and they just post it just to post it. And they just put their opinion piece on there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, that is not news. News is people that actually know the story left and right, to the back of their, to the front of the hand, to the back of the hand, to the whole arm, to the whole body. You can't sit there and just find viral videos and just post it out, or say someone have a YouTube channel, report about it, and you don't talk to the person that's in the video, know the actual backstory to this to the video, what day it happened. Because you got videos that are coming out that happened a year ago. They're still finding videos of police brutality that happened years ago.
What?
And people don't even know that was years ago. Right. They will think that video just happened yesterday. And that's why the black media, the new black media, is doing us a disservice. Because they talk within the issue, not offering a solution. It's like, yes, we know what's happening. Yes, I know it's systemic racism going on. But what are we going to do about it is the question. What are the solutions that you're going to offer? Not trying to force it down our throats. Like with this video, my take on it is that it's when I see another brother get manhandled by police, I probably will step in.
Well, you gotta be careful though.
I understand that, but there's a point of I'm sick and tired of seeing this.
Right.
It's
better to be smart and live a better, longer life.
Yeah, but
I gotta go back to what I said earlier. You know, by definition, default of being a black man in America. I'm not privy that type of peace of mind, because I could easily die for some bullshit. I could easily die for something that ain't got shit to do with me. I could die by being lied on by some white person. You know, my life can be exponentially shat on just because I am a scapegoat in the eyes of average Americans. So I kind of feel like in for a penny, in for a pound. If the cops gonna fuck with me, I'm gonna give them a reason.
What?
And the reason is I jumped on you because you jumped on somebody you ain't had no business.
yeah, and
You know what you're supposed to do and you didn't do that. So you didn't do what you were supposed to do. I'm not gonna do what I was supposed to do. I'm supposed to sit back and watch you. You're supposed to properly arrest that man. You're not supposed to give him a 2-piece to the face and then change angles. So I'm going to follow suit, and I'm going to start giving one of your partners a 2-piece to the face. I'm going to come out of nowhere with a nice unblocked elbow to the back of the head.
Well, I totally agree. I think that we just gotta, because I don't know if anybody's watching this and they might take on what we're saying. We just gotta understand that this is the most organized gang in America. They have the most ammunition that we pay for. And until we get our elected officials to let them know that they totally can never shoot upon us. If they shoot upon us when we ain't attacking them, imagine what those 3 or 4 brothers could have gotten. I mean, because I just
well, I also remember too, Mayo, that the government officials and the political officials are elected officials by the people.
What?
And people have the right to turn against the individuals that they elected to work in their favor when they realize they're not going to work in there. But it has to be collective. It can't just be 1 or 2. It's got to be everybody. It's got to be a unilateral front.
That's what a group of white folks did on January 6th, and we call insurrection, all that kind of stuff. They trying to get the politicians, but they didn't believe they were doing what they were doing no more. That's why I didn't want to call all of them racist and all that stuff. That's a whole different conversation. My thing is, again, I think we can do everything we want to do, but when we're in isolated situations, where it's just you and a guy that has a gun in his hand, legally he's legally a law. It's kind of like a wild west. That's what we have right now,
Right.
And some folks might be like,
I understand.
But he said forget the sheriff, and you want to go forget the sheriff. Understand that most of the time, if it's you against the sheriff and people start shooting, they're gonna say that you're wrong. Because and if they and they have the most gang, they have backup like more than anybody has. They have eyes in the sky. I mean, they have all this. I mean, and it's just if we lose 5 lives, or we can call 4 of them punks because they didn't swing at the one that was being swung on. And now those officers can be fired, and their pension can be taken, all that stuff, and it's not correcting, it's not taking back what happened, but legally we can fix what happened because we have cameras now. If we do that, and opposed to us losing 5 lives, and maybe let's just say those guys were able to shoot one of the officers, and also like maybe 6 lives, and one of them was on their side, but those guys kept their job, and they said those gangs try to kill the officers, and thank God the officers won because those gangs were shooting back, because at that point you would not get nobody fired after if we start shooting back. Because they'd be like, that's what we knew about those black people. Like they fighting back. The storyline would change. Even though it was them that started, the storyline would change, and there would be a little more remorse, and there would be a little more understanding for hey, they did something wrong. It would be like why they shooting back? Like why they swinging on the police officers because the one bad guy swung, and how dare this other guy swing? I mean, when they were throwing the trash, I was kind of happy, but I was also clinging to my chest. Like, I hope they don't shoot them because it's throwing trash. I mean, but that was them saying, again, I don't want to swing on you the way you swing on my board, but I'm going to make you feel the pain. So I really respect the fact that they did that far. I mean, but, them swinging back at those officers or trying to arrest them and all that stuff, they're going to be like, somebody try to grab by a gun. That's how we start shooting them. I mean, I can see it all right now. The fact that they didn't shoot that one guy itself, I'm surprised they didn't say he tried to grab their gun. That's why they shot him.
Yeah. So go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Beast, and then I'm gonna go ahead, China.
I acknowledge and accept everything you're saying because it's 100% true. The problem is they have used that to their advantage, and now we have this mentality amongst ourselves, especially the men. I'm only speaking from personal experience at the fact that I've had a gun pulled on me by an officer and by a racist redneck. So as far as having guns pulled on me, I understand that there's a certain time frame that goes with it. And the average individual only gonna pull a pistol as a last resort to deter the situation, even if it's their first resort. And after about 3 seconds of holding that gun, if you're still alive, they're just doing it for sure.
And yeah,
now, as long as you don't put yourself, as long as you don't act in emotion, like me charging at you feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Me charging at you, you're gonna get shot, even as a normal man. What? If you just run up on me, if I got an open hand, I might 2-piece you in the face one good time. Right. If I can't, try to kick you in your jaw. If you come rushing at me, I don't know what to think. I'm gonna defend myself. So yeah, but to put yourself in a position where, and I use example when I had the cop draw it on me, I was enough distance from him to where he could honestly say and witness it to say I wasn't trying to rush him. My hands were visible the entire time. I wasn't reaching for anything. But I made sure to look him dead in his face and tell him, get your hand off the gun. There's no reason for that. I'm trying to help you.
What?
You pulling that pistol on me ain't gonna help the situation.
What?
Right.
So you deal with him and let me help you keep him calm so you ain't got that foolish. And I keep them from acting foolish so you ain't got to grab nothing. But you pulling that pistol on me right now is the last thing you want to do.
Right.
I'm not here for that shit and I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and Ty, because May also brought up a point that I said in the opening statements is also in the Alamonte show when I was showing the first video with the little girl that was when we found out that the officer was actually harassing that little girl and just was on top of her is rather than seeing the officer was wrong and also the police officers and one of them was a brother doing what they did. This is what happens when you don't be involved in your local politics. And I'm going to say it's on the show. For those who sit there screaming, saying, you know, work outside the system, you go, guess what? When you outside the door, you outside the house, and everybody's sitting there eating and enjoying their fried chicken and all that stuff, and all you want is cornbread. Why would they stop to pay attention to you when you outside? Why would anybody care what's going on outside? Just like you don't care what's going on inside, but you want everybody to hear you. Make it make sense. Now, a lot of y'all don't believe in voting. This is also why people don't take us seriously. And sometimes we don't take ourselves seriously because they believe that if we don't vote, we just telling them we need a black agenda and all that stuff, which is true. But we don't vote anyway, with or without an agenda. For us to have an agenda, we gotta take ourselves seriously. We gotta question things. We just can't fully just believe in stuff without asking the questions. We got people that we look down on, that we shun on, that are actually putting in the work, i.e. Van Jones. I always say question everything. I just questioned him going to CPAC. That was it. But if you look at this man's track record, he's put in the time. He did the work. Y'all just mad because do we hang out with a lot of white folks? Yes. But who hasn't hung around with a lot of white folks? Beast at one time probably hung around a lot of white folks. Mayo probably hung around. Right. Mayo probably.
I love white folks.
Yeah, so Mayo.
I ain't gonna lie. I do. I love all people. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I just
hang out with anybody. Shit.
Right. I don't know if the ones that are trying to hold us back.
Right, and I hung out with a lot of white folks. I'm from the South, I'm from Virginia, but you cannot demonize that man for that. You cannot sit there and say that man didn't put his work in for black people, to get people that has been in jail for over 60 years maybe for stupid charges or charges that didn't even stick and they still in. That man had put in the work and nobody don't understand that. And so y'all put people like Umar Johnson on the top of the pedestal, but Van Jones get the crumbs and he gets spat on, get the rocks and everything thrown at you.
It's funny you say that because I just saw a video earlier of Umar and it made so much sense. Number one, he's using similar and understandable verbiage and vernacular that they can comprehend. Also, he, lack of a better term, dumbs down his message. The video I saw is of Umar stating that he is looking for wifeys and now accepting all wifey applications.
Huh? You said that?
Yes.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yes.
I mean,
And how he said,
he's
no, I'm being
relating-
dead ass.
He's relating to the common man. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
No. But he was because I watched the whole thing because I'm thinking that maybe there's something more to this. But maybe it's build up. Like, no. He was dead ass. Just I'm looking for. As he put it, I'm just saying, if there's a woman out there that wants herself to be known to me, now is the time for her to shoot her shot. So yes, drop your. I'm accepting all wifey applications. Yeah, I need a picture with your resume and references. Yeah.
And see, and people like that is in high regard. They are holding up to the highest standard. But people like Van Jones is actually putting in the work, actually doing it, gets just spat on and all that stuff. And I always said this, and Mayo knows what I'm talking about, because there are some certain people, not only in the Democrat Party, I'm going to give the devils their due, there are certain people in the Republican Party that's trying to turn these issues that we have in the black community into agendas. Actually saying that there's a problem, but there's so few of them that they're easily getting shunned out. When they put it up against their party or they bring it up to the party, it gets drowned out. I'm not, and Mayo knows he always say that it's part within the Democrat Party, even though he can't say too much. But he said there's a problem. So, like I said, I'm giving devil's due. It's happening on the Republican side.
Right.
So, my thing is this: they need help. They need help. That's what I always preach on this show. Super PAC, super PAC, super PAC. And thanks to Mayo on that when you came on the show one time, you explained about super PACs. There's two different super PACs. You got super PACs that actually is for the politicians, and then you got the super PAC that's actually for the agendas and pushing it. And so that's what we need. But before we even do that, people have to understand the politics that's in their local government. Who's the superintendent of the schools? Who's running your district? Who's your mayor? Who's your chief of police? Who's even the chief of your freaking fire department? Even the National Guard, like, what's your National Guard unit doing? What's your reserve unit? How far are you from a military base? These are all the things you need to know. If you live in a community, and Mayor, once again, you know all about this, HOA, Homeowners Association. You know, I'm a part of an HOA, to tell you the truth, where some have meetings, some gives out newsletters, and they ask for suggestions. And if you don't offer a suggestion, somebody else gonna offer a suggestion you ain't gonna like, and now all of a sudden you mad at HOA. Man, HOA sucks, man. I don't want to do that. But if you're not saying anything, or how can I put it, adding on to the conversation, then you can't complain. And this is why people got a misconception of voting. When voting is not the end all be all. If I vote for Beach Johnson to become mayor of Greensboro, it's because I believe that he got the message that I'm looking for. He's talking about the issues that I'm having. He's going to bring it up to when he goes up to be in the House of Reps. I voted. Even if he loses, I can still say I voted. I did my civil duty. Even though I don't like the person up in there, I wish them nothing but the best. You know? I don't want to sit there and just hound on the person, you know, just because Beast laws. Maybe he or she may do a better job than the person previously there. Or if they are an incumbent, I understand, you know, they probably might do a better job. But our problem, our issue is we just don't do the work. And once again, going back to New Black Media that is pushing this agenda on their own, pushing this and sitting there saying, well, it goes to the ADOS, who we talked about a little bit on the show. You got these groups that sit there. Well, I think some of the people from ADOS do vote, but they just Saying, well, nothing is happening for us. You know, they're not passing no laws for us. You know, they're not putting anything in the policy and the laws that protects black people. They're not putting that in there. You want to know why? It's because you are not getting into the politics. I saw a video a couple weeks ago with this girl because she got mad for the black farmers. They got $1 billion loan from the Biden campaign. And she posted a picture of a judge denying that payment. And I don't know if I haven't heard the Supreme Court stopping that. I don't think they even stopped it, but I know it's a judge that stopped it. So when I seen judge, I'm thinking somebody from a state stopped that funding. And she blamed Biden. And I really want to stitch that video and have a rebut for her and be like, this is what happens when you don't understand civics 101. Because if you jumping all the way to the president saying that it's his fault, you are already lost and your argument's already dumb and stupid. Like I say, I'm gonna say on the show, I'm not the biggest Biden fan. I'm not, but he is the president of the United States. I give him the same respect that I give to Trump or 45. I don't have to, but I will. I met Joe Biden when I was downrange. I met him, but I'm not going to use that to justify anything. But what I'm saying is, if anything that happens in your world politically and you blame Biden, you just don't like Biden, or two, you don't understand government civics. So to answer her question, for anybody that posed that question to what happened to the farmers, because the black farmers are saying why we lose the funding. Now they know why, because it just stopped it. Only thing that Biden can do is sue that judge. If it was the Supreme Court, he got to tell the AG, what's his name, Eric Garland, to sue, to dispute it.
I didn't know the story. So was it one judge?
It was one judge. Yeah, it was one judge.
They stopped the whole payment, or stopped the whole policy, the whole thing.
I believe it stopped it for that state because it said only judge. It didn't say Supreme Court judges, because if it was a Supreme Court judge, it would put Supreme Court judges. Yeah, and I was like, if a judge stopped that, it has to be a judge of it has to be a judge at like the highest level. You know, Supreme Court. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, there are Supreme Courts in the states. Okay. So the only way that Biden can fight that, because it's not Biden's fault when he already signed it into law for them to receive that funding, to receive the loans. If it's being stopped by the state, being stopped by that Supreme Court, or stopped by that judge, even if it's local, only thing he can do is sue. He can sue that state. He can sue that judge for that decision, or he can tell the governor, like, hey, you need to do something. And then the governor can sue. So he can work in two ways. So if you always going to blame the president for anything, you already fucked. Because I'm sorry, I will be that politician who's going to ask somebody, you know, if they come to a town hall for a situation that happens, I won't say a situation that happens like this. Let's say, you know, let's say a food shortage. I'm just using that for example, a food shortage. And you got everybody in their mama, the people that you don't even usually see in the town hall. Now they're there. They whining, moping, complaining about food shortages. You know, My first question is this. I'm going to ask them, did you vote? What do voting got to do with it? I mean, you're doing a civic duty here. You're here at the town hall. Did you vote? Because I only talk to people that actually give a damn about this, about the community. You being here complaining is not caring about the community. You're being very selfish right now. If you have voted and actually, I don't even care if you vote for me. Yeah, I don't care if you vote for me. Like, let's say me and Mayo ran against each other, and I won. I even want him to be at the freaking town hall meeting because I want him to correct me when I'm wrong. Yeah. But I don't care if you voted for him. As long as you say you voted, but I vote for the other guy. Ain't gonna be no offense to me. I just know that
Okay, good. You voted.
Now let me hear your issue. You got an issue. That person who didn't vote for neither one of us, that's a complaint. That's a gripe. He or she can sit down. I'm telling you, they ain't gonna like me. I'm gonna get straight to the point because the reason why I will go direct to the point, because I won't go direct to the point for people who actually care. The people that
That's a good way to think that.
Yeah. The people
If
that
you put forth the effort of voting, then
Right.
what you have to say is an issue. But if you didn't take the initiative, that's the same equivalent of you took the initiative to place an order and it was wrong, so you have justifiable reason to gripe. You
Right.
just brung your ass in there and didn't even order nothing yet and already cop an attitude. No, you don't have that right.
Right. So I'm gonna use this as analogy for all y'all to better understand. So let's say we all go to Teach house and she cooked us those nice Detroit ribs. Teach, you wrong. Nice Detroit ribs. Mato's munching. Beast, he's munching. I'm not touching mine. I'm not even touching mine. I didn't even want no ribs. Let's say I wanted oxtail. I was like, and then all of a sudden, and remember, we in Teacher's house. Y'all ate the damn ribs all the way to the damn bone. My ribs are still there. And Teach was like, well, I got some dessert. I either got I got pumpkin pie, or anybody wants some let's say pecan pie. Now y'all gotta choose one. And I'm the first one to say, hey, let's go and have pecan pie. Y'all gonna look at me like I'm fucking crazy. I know Teach gonna be looking like you didn't even touch one of your ribs. How do you think that you can tell me what you want? You gonna finish on that? Y'all know y'all had that one parent that sit there and say you won't finish your food, you ain't get no dessert. Or how mine did, they be like, okay, all right, cool. Take the food, put Reynolds wrap on top of it, put it in the refrigerator. And
that's what you eat tomorrow.
While everybody else eating pizza, my ass is eating a meal from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That is us in a nutshell. Not all of us. I would say close to a handful of us. That for all these things, because this comes together to what happened to this brother. Reason why this shit happens is because we don't have nobody in power to punish these officers or to stop this good old boy system and what is going on. And to be fair to the police officer, to the police, you probably do got some police officers that's saying that, man, this is wrong. This is wrong, but I can't do anything. Because there is a thing called the good old boy system. And if you ain't in it, you ain't in it. So the only thing you got is that badge and the uniform. You're basically like, you know what? I'm going to keep my head down. Last thing I want is to be on their bad side. So I'm just going to sit here and do paperwork, or I'm just going to be on the street, and I'm just going to say to myself, I'm trying to get to retirement. And the reason why I can say that, because I hear that in the military almost when I was in active duty every day. I'm just trying to retire. Even though I'm trying to do the right thing, but I know if I do, them suckers over there is going to ruin my career. They're going to ruin it. Right. They're going to ruin it. They can take my rank. That's going to mess up my livelihood. That's going to mess up my financial with my wife and mainly my kids. So I got to keep my mouth shut. And it's sad to hear that. So I empathize with those officers, which brings back to politics. When you do got politicians up in there that are saying the things that we've been saying on this show, that want to have change happen, but they don't have nobody. You got people like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer's. You got them all over the country. And Mitch McConnell's out there. And the McCarthy's out there. They're in your local government and y'all don't even realize it. that will sit there and will tell you in your face like we working on it. 2 years later, the same shit, even worse happens. That same guy probably who punched this dude is probably gonna win a medal or something, Medal of Honor or whatever the highest award that they got in the with the police force. And you probably looking like, yo, this dude just beat up my boy a couple years ago, and he's getting the highest award y'all got.
Yep.
Or this guy could be the new chief of police. Imagine that, as my Aunt Maisie would say. So for this to stop, we need to stop working outside the system, because when we work outside the system, there's less of us that's trying to change the status quo for us. That's taking away our numbers. And that's why, to bring Van Jones up in, this is why Van Jones get with white folks that actually get shit done. That he actually starts a great relationship with, like, look, I'm trying to push this up in here. I'm trying to push this legislation so my people don't go to jail on some dumb shit. Or by people that are in prison, I need them out. And you know these charges are wrong. Get around the white people that actually have pull, have power. You can't blame a man for that. You can't.
No.
So, yeah, because anybody will get around power players, no matter if they're black or white. But in this environment, majority of them are white. You see freaking the Hispanics politicians, they do it. Look what's going on in Florida right now. They basically got left abandoned. Look at all the freaking
Jay-Z. Y'all love quoting Jay-Z, but everybody forgets Jay-Z wouldn't be shit if he didn't get around Leo Cohen. White man.
Yeah. And so I was happy that Mayo brung up that point, even though I said it earlier, but he went deeper into it. I was like, yeah, we have to know our politics. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna keep preaching on the show until your head explodes. For you to make a change in your community, you have to understand the politics of your community. And then I'm gonna stop my tirade, and I'm gonna let Beast chime in. But for you to make a change in anything, you hear people say politics, and bad enough, I hear when politics come up, people don't want to talk about politics. Man, I don't want to talk about politics. I'm like, yeah, we need to talk about politics. That's the issue. Nobody don't want to talk about politics. When you sit there and you don't talk about politics, you accept what is going on. So if you accept what is going on in your community and don't want to talk about politics, you love the high gas prices that you gotta pay right now. You love the new property tax that you gotta pay. You happy that now you can't even get water, can't even hand water to your relatives in the freaking line when you're trying to vote, and all these things that are getting passed currently right now. And I'm not talking about federally, I'm talking about statewide, including locally. And if you don't like it and you complain about it, you didn't vote, you didn't do none of those things, stop complaining. Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll stop. Go ahead, Beast. I'm gonna let you get the last word. Then I'm gonna have y'all do y'all segments.
I mean, shoot, everything y'all saying is right. We have to be smart about it, and have to make sure that any move we make with an educated stand. It's one thing to go talk shit to the police, but you want to make sure that you're in a position where what you say is true. It might come off emotional, might be disrespectful and vulgar or whatever, or what may have you. But what you're saying is true. Morally, ethically, litigiously, it's true. So they got to take it.
Right. What you got to add, Mayo?
Well, I mean, yeah, everything that we said tonight is right and right. So yeah, it's just people having to. Biggest thing I've always talked about is still the same. Is that people need to focus less on personalities and focus more on issues. And if you focus less on who's doing this, who's doing that, and talk more about what they're doing and how we can stop what they're doing or start them or start them caring more about certain policies, then we're gonna be all right. If we start thinking about what policies we need to change, opposed to what somebody got on, what how Melania Obama had, Melania Trump or whatever her name is, had Obama's dress on, and how somebody else had that dress on. I mean, stuff like that. If we can focus less on that and focus more about the policies of Medicare for all, or maybe how that can affect black folks who want to start their own business who might not be able to get out of that because they don't have no health care, or how black folks who are dying because they don't have health care. I mean, if we can focus more about the issues of police, community relations, and how we staff our police departments, we can focus on those issues and not worry about who and what somebody got on, what they don't have on, what they said, what they didn't say. We'll be a whole lot in a better place. So I'm looking forward to that. I believe in I'm a very optimistic person about the future, and I just think that each one teach one, and we gotta just keep building.
Got you. Roger that. So now I actually like this part of the show since I got both of y'all. Usually Teach you would go first, then this Mayo, then this Beast. But Beast, we're about to travel to the community. So Mayo, go ahead and get the passenger side. We're heading to Beast Community. Here we go.
In every community, you got two kinds of folk. You got the Joneses, or the Nouveau Joneses, as I like to call them. Then you got the folk trying to keep up with them. In this era that we live in now, everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses because everybody thinks that everybody is the Jones. Because what you see, you believe. So if you see somebody at that moment with a supposedly high-end or fashionable or something that you yearn for to have or to experience, people automatically believe that is the truth. And maybe just because I've always been a visual creature and always had a thing for design, I understand that what we see is not always the truth. Just because they have a particularly have something that's perceived nicer or better than what you have at that current moment doesn't necessarily mean that they're in a better place. Projects are cluttered with high-end suburban-like vehicles owned by individuals who are paying less than $50 a month on their rent. You live in the heart of the projects, but you got a 2017 Dodge Charger. Why? Who are you trying to impress? Why are you trying to be the Joneses? Why are you trying to keep up with it? Is it really helping your internal community, your personal community? Is it helping your community as a whole? An interesting book that I read was called Ghetto Nation. And it talked about an area in New Jersey called New Deal, where most of the houses are like a couple $1 million. Like it's like Beverly Hills money we talking. Every house in the whole fucking city is no less than like 3 mil. But ain't a single motherfucker in that city that lives in one of those $3 million houses even making $500,000. This book told about white folk working in corporate 6-7 figure jobs, driving S classes and CLSs and all the top brands of vehicular transport, living in these big ass fucking mansions that will put the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to shame, and can't even afford a fucking bed, can't even afford to light the entire house. They living in the fucking foyer. Imagine being in a house with 10 rooms on each side, and yet your ass only got enough money for an inflatable bed, a space heater, and a hot plate that you sleep on and use directly in front of the front door. But you got Gucci, you driving that Benz, you got that big ass house that you would dare never let anybody come into because you can't afford it. Black people, my brethren, my kinfolk, my skinfolk. The truth and the true essence of what we are and what we need has nothing to do about the shit on our bodies or the shit that we consume or the shit that we just happen to have in our homes. Because we can't take none of this shit with us when we go. I don't give a fuck how many Hermes bags and Balenciaga red bottles you got. Ain't none of that shit gonna look good in heaven or hell. You can't take your 3,000 sneaker collection wherever you end up. So maybe we should spend less time worried about how others view us and how people think we should be, and spend more time worrying about how we truly should be and how we truly should carry ourselves. Because if you want people to respect you, then first you have to learn to respect yourself. And then you will begin to walk and carry yourself in a manner that shows respect. And thus people will be forced to approach you in a respectful manner without you having to demand that you be shown respect. Instead of trying to portray or act the part, just live it. Truly be it. And people will see it. They don't have to see it right now, but they will see it. It will be seen, it will be known, it will be verified, and it will be informed down the chain. So ain't a whole lot you got to do. Just focus on being better. All of us spend more time worrying about getting our shit together instead of looking the part. We wouldn't have to worry about getting our shit together because it'd be together. Maybe it's just weed talking. Maybe I'm just rambling out. I do thank you for coming by and listening to me. I hope you were educated, enlightened, and informed. I yield the floor, and I'll see you again.
See, I love my intro so much. It's it's a beautiful intro, man. I know, love the fact that we come in with the music, and we know that that's part of our show where I come in with the music as well. The music of today is cherished by Kool and the Gang. The member Thomas, what's his first name? Uh, One of the main members that started the group, passed away this past week. So on my Instagram and the social media, I honored him because this is Dennis Thomas's name. This is one of my favorite Kool and Gang songs. One of my favorite songs actually ever. But Dennis Thomas, rest in peace. But anyways, to the song goes my message as well. It's easy for me to pick my message today because it's talking about cherish the one you love, cherish life. It's a beautiful song. One thing I realized in our community is that because we've dealt with so much struggle, we've thrown away the idea of being able to love. When we hear love songs or ballads, we think like it's a white people thing, it's not our thing. We need to get love back in our lives. We need to get love back in the minds of our youths. They need to listen to love songs. This is all brothers that sang this song, talking about cherish the love you have, cherish the life you live, cherish the love, cherish the love, cherish the life, cherish the love you have. So I mean, and for us to believe that there's love again, that we can actually love again. In our community, our relationships are so toxic. They're so toxic. We have the Kevin Samuels of them telling the truth, speaking the truth. Part of the reason could be is because most of us are not raised with love or around love or believing in love. We don't even believe in it no more. And I don't blame folks who don't believe in it because some folks have been battered and they didn't even have the foundation of believing in love. So, and the ones that didn't even have the foundation, they've been battered. Sometimes they turn the other way, not believing that love is a facade. Is something that's fake. So I just want to put it out there, man. There's a few that still believe in it. To my brother, what they put out there that he wants to interview all the women out there. I forgot the brother we talked about earlier. I don't blame him. Man. If he can be Dr. Umar, if Dr. Umar can be single, that tells you, like what's going on. He's single because he's dealing with the same situation. We don't love each other no more. We don't cherish the life that we live. It's just everything seems just like temporary. The divorce rate is so high. Folks don't want to be together. Folks are so all caught up by themselves. So my message today, pivoting from the negative, is to put the positive. Let's find a way to cherish love more. Let's believe a little more in love. Let's try to find a way to love something outside ourselves, someone outside ourselves. Understand that compromise is not always wrong. It's not always bad. Giving somebody else a chance to love, to speak in the room, to share someone's value, to find out what they grew up on, for them to find out what you grew up on, learning each other, evolving. Those things are beautiful when you're doing them sometimes, but we often don't want to do it initially, but if you put time into it, it works. So with that being said, I bid y'all good evening. I know most of the time we talk about serious business over here, and today I'm deviating a little bit, talking about loving and loving life. But again, it's a tribute to Dennis Thomas from Kool and the Gang, and who lost his life after 7 good years of living with good music to us. I love that music. Cherish the beautiful song. So I bid y'all good night with this song. Cherish the love, cherish the life you live. Good night, y'all.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, I was over here humming it too.
Just vibing and all that stuff. So let me put my headphones back in. But Mayo, it's great that you came on and show us that you're still alive and all that stuff. We know money ain't gonna sleep on you. You know that.
It's working hard, man. I had to dig in deep for a minute. Had a few projects in my hand. I had to dig in deep, boy. That's a very good thing when sometimes you got good work in your hand. So my apologies. I felt every day I didn't see you. I felt I missed y'all.
Yeah, we miss you. We miss you too. So we also, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to break a news on here. We go try to push more to having shows on Instagram, and I encourage Mayo and Beast to start doing that. Now, since Fridays, we've been having trouble trying to broadcast on Fridays, ladies and gentlemen. For now until further notice, it's going to be Beast Jam sessions for Fridays from now on. So, Beast Jam sessions always getting partly muted and all this stuff and all that. I don't even care. I said, let's go ahead and just shake the freaking pillars of heaven, So for now on Friday will be Johnson's Jam Sessions until further notice.
I'm about to go
And-
stock up my liquor cabinet then.
And then also, what's that? What's the app that I introduced you to, Reese, that you keep using? I need to start using that. My dang self.
Haps.
Haps. Well, I'm gonna start using Haps to start to go live, but I'm gonna start going live on Instagram. So Beast got the Haps online. Mayo, gotta get Mayo show jumped up. I hopefully in the middle of August we can have this show online and getting started as well, including. I'm gonna give a date no later than this Wednesday on the Unrehearsed podcast when we're going to start doing the shows. So I'm gonna give you the date. I cannot wait. Preseason is basically here right now. So
Yes, sir. Football.
yeah, so we're going to start broadcasting it. I will give a date. I'm gonna have to look on my calendar and let everybody else know as well. And also for simply amazing treats, we're going to go live with them on Instagram. I will let y'all know the rest of the information, and also I'm getting other people aligned to come on the show as well. But with that, it's time for us to head on out. Time for us to have to go. I'm still in my freaking work clothes and I stink. So other than that, as for Beast Johnson, as for my boy Mayo, and me as your great host, Tim Morris, we will see you on Wednesday. Hopefully Mayo will tune in and join as well. But with that, we gotta go. Catch y'all later. We're out and teach. If you hear us, we miss you. Hopefully you have. Well, she's having a great time. If y'all follow T, she's already showing up, dressing and all that stuff. She's having a great time. And as for Sleepaway, we also think about your dog. You uplifted your country, and we still just thinking about it just get me pissed off again. But we know that you done well for your country, even though you don't need the Olympics to uplift that country. You did what you had to do without an Olympic gold, silver, or bronze. You did what you had to do. You the man. But other than that, we're outro. Catch y'all later. Bye, y'all. If I can find the caption, here we go. We out. Catch y'all later.